Hey, what is up guys? Alright, this video is going to be just a little bit of an update on where I'm at the moment. So these pictures are 3 months post competition, and remember I competed about 88 kilos for my competition, and in these photos I'm 88 kilos again. So I've probably lost a bit of muscle and gained a bit of fat in that 3 months, but have held on to quite a good physique, and still in pretty good shape. So I'm very happy with the position that I'm in at the moment, and have worked very hard to try and maintain as good a physique as possible. It's never hard. It's never easy during this phase, what I call the detox phase after competition. And it's hard to sort of set goals and keep to your goals, but it's a very important part to try and hang on as best you can if you want to continue to make progress in the coming year. So 2019 is going to be a year where I try and pack on a lot of size. So here I am, 88 kilos, and just about ready to start a bulk phase. So looking to get up to maybe 100 kilos by the end of the year, by the end of 2019, and hopefully that will set me up to compete in the Arnold Classic in 2020. So 100 kilos will be a big jump up for me. The heaviest I've ever been in the off season is about 94 kilos, and maybe 95 kilos for a day or two. So 100 kilos is going to be a big jump, but I'm determined that this time maybe to let the body fat levels get up a little bit higher than normal, but I'm always trying to stay as lean as possible. But it's gonna come down to just pushing a little bit more food in, and not being afraid of putting on a little bit of fat, but obviously trying to reduce it as much as possible, and just getting as strong as I can in the gym. And just going to have a look at the diet that I'll be starting with. So this is the starting point of my diet, and so if you go through it, meal 1, we have 4 whole eggs, 50 grams rice flakes, 20 grams whey protein isolate, 1 kiwi fruit, handful of berries, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, mushrooms, zucchini, sauerkraut, psyllium husk, ground cinnamon, pink salt, pepper, and turmeric. And that's generally about 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning before work, or just getting up on the weekend. So it's quite a decent sized meal. And then meal 2, we have 200 grams of chicken breasts, 100 grams of avocado, 200 grams greens, tomatoes, cucumbers again, 1 apple, sauerkraut, pink salt, pepper, and turmeric again. So I like to add a lot of different vitamins and minerals, and as much fruit and veggies as I can to help with digestion and just overall well-being as well. So those are my first 2 meals of the day, and then moving on to meals 3 and 4. So meal 3 is 2 times 105 grams of sardines. I get the Brunswick wild caught sardines, just for better, healthier fats and good source of protein. So then it's 200 grams of greens, 1 kiwi fruit, which is great for digestion, tomatoes and cucumbers, sauerkraut, pink salt, pepper, and turmeric again. And then meal 4 will be either 200 grams of chicken breast or kangaroo, again with 200 grams of greens, 15 grams of either coconut oil or macadamia nut oil for my source of fats, 75 grams of beetroot, and the beetroot is like a pre-workout stimulant, I guess. It promotes more blood flow to the muscle, basically. 20 grams of dark chocolate, which is also another pre-workout strategy that we have. That's mainly for brain function. So better brain function means better connection to the muscle for your training. Then there is tomatoes and cucumber again, sauerkraut, pink salt, pepper, and turmeric again. So that's my pre-workout meal. about an hour and a half before the gym. And the meat this time, I'm going a little bit harder. I'm going about 200 grams. Normally I'm around about 150 grams. So hopefully that's where I can push the scale up a little bit more this time in the off season. So then moving on to what I have during my training session, which is generally after meal 4 later in the afternoon, about 6 p.m. So an intra-workout BCA shake. So that's just the BCA recoveries I use from bulk nutrients. And sometimes I add some sugar, some maltodextrin to that, but I'm starting off without it. So just to see how I go to begin with. And then post-workout, I'd go about 40 to 50 grams of WPI. Depends what I've trained. If I've trained something smaller, it's about 40 grams. But if I train something bigger, like legs or back, it's about 50 grams of WPI from bulk nutrients with 5 grams of creatine monohydrate and between 30 to 60 grams of waxy maize. So again, the lighter days or the smaller muscles, so shoulders and arms and chest, is probably about 30 grams, and then the higher day, which is back and legs, normally about 60 grams of waxy maize, which is a carb. It's like a sugar that you have with the protein that helps with absorption of that protein. Waxy maize is a large molecule carbohydrate, so basically it acts like a bus in your bloodstream and just sucks up all the amino acids and delivers it to the muscle cell. Well, that's the science behind it anyway. So then we have meal 5, so that's 200 grams of lean beef, kangaroo or chicken thigh. So depending on the day as well, if it's a larger muscle group, I'll have the lean beef or the chicken thigh, something with a bit of fat in it, or maybe like a fattier sort of steak as well on those bigger days. But then the small days I'll have something leaner like kangaroo, and that will have between 75 and 100 grams of uncooked rice. So I measure my rice uncooked, so I just find it more accurate that way. And again, obviously, so the smaller muscle groups, about 75 grams, and then legs and back, it's probably 100 grams. That can vary just depending on what I need. The other thing that I have with that is 100 grams of pineapple, and that's just basically to aid with digestion and also to replenish liver glycogen. 1 kiwi fruit, which again is digestion. Tomatoes, cucumber, sauerkraut, salt, pepper, and normally I have ground cinnamon with this. That apparently helps with insulin sensitivity. And the only other thing that I have pre-bed, or if I wake up during the night and I'm still hungry, will be just 50 grams of oats and 20 grams of WPI. So that's where I'm starting my diet in my bulking phase, I'd like to call it. So the area that I'm mainly going up, or that's changing mostly, is the protein. So starting at about 200 grams with the meat, which is going to bump up my protein a lot more. And I'm just going to see how I go for the first month or so, see how my body reacts, and then I'll be checking in with you guys again later. So that's my off-season strategy to begin with, starting in the new year of 2019, and hopefully more updates and progress for you guys to follow along.